At the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, we as communication leaders all really saw small businesses and small nonprofits in our community struggling. So what we decided was we would build this consulting agency. The idea being that we would sort of foster and grow the community of small businesses and organizations and create opportunities where students could have applied learning opportunities within their field of choice.
I had some exposure to UX work before, but I've never fully committed to a project by myself, and I haven't had the opportunity to make something happen using my UX skills. So I really wanted to work with a real-world client, and I really wanted to, put my skills to practice. I kept my eyes on the consultancy job board. And this opportunity popped up. They're called Alliance for Education. They are a local nonprofit that works with Seattle public schools.
At the Alliance for Education, I am our only communications professional, and so it takes a lot of switching all the time to different things, all in one given day. And so I appreciate that the consultancy is also able to help focus and do those with the different tracks of students that they provide. We were able to focus on two big projects. One of them being a website redesign and user experience redesign for the Seattle Teacher Residency Program. And the second one being a digital storytelling campaign with the hopes of raising awareness and raising funds for the Seattle Teacher Residency. So the CommLead students that I worked with brought really innovative and fresh approaches to our work. Both projects have been fully launched and published, and we are already seeing great returns.
As communication leaders, we really saw an opportunity, particularly to help international students who had a harder time finding jobs, finding opportunities within this department. So that has then opened the door for them to be able to take more opportunities to help propel their career once they graduate from the program.
So I wanted to use my time at CommLead to gain as much real-life experience as I can. Sometimes, student projects won't necessarily give you the level of experience that a real-life project will, such as working with team members and internal communications, how to manage timelines, multitasking, managing different projects at the same time. How can I do all of this as well as study? So the consultancy is a great place to, develop all of these skills together. This video project was definitely one of the biggest learning curves I had. I was able to get in touch with 3 divisions in the city of Seattle. I went into it knowing nothing about video, so I learned right from handling camera equipment and lighting and sound. So it was a long process, but really, really worth it.
When you learn some hard skills from work, you also want to be able to apply, right? And I think CommLead Consultancy is a great opportunity to practice whatever skills you learn from school. And with the client that is also based in Seattle, so you get to know more about where you live and your community, and also about American culture. So
We'd like to recommend the consultancy to everyone is because I feel like the real world experience, working with a real client and working with a project that will be brought to life later, you are more involved for sure, and you're more engaged, and you have a better piece for your portfolio, and you have a better experience to talk about in your interviews.
And I think one of the most rewarding moment was after the session when small business owners came up to me and said how appreciative they are and how beneficial the training was. I think that was like really heartwarming moment for me.
Something that really stood out to me about the CommLead students that I worked with is that they were so flexible and ready to dive in wherever necessary. And the flexibility of saying, yeah, let's go do it, let's try it, let's see what will happen. So I really appreciate that.
Ultimately, it services that core value, not just for ourselves and for what students gain, but also through the community, which I think is really important. I have been able to see the change and the outcome, not just from our students, but also from the client side of how these relationships develop over time. And I think that that's one of the really unique things that we offer. And this is something that sort of applied learning, that relationship building, that networking is something that we really want our students to engage with. And this is the perfect opportunity.